no burning, so sorry, who's more than, so I'm just cutting. For the footage, 4217. On the paper. So I'll you if y'all catch it in a moment. Appreciate the likes. That's love, that's love. From the like and do. Testing, I have to get my levels right. On the live, to left. You left, there was no warning. Okay. I appreciate you, bro. One line at a time, though. You left, there was no warning. Hey. You left, there was no warning. Somehow missed so soon. Somehow. Taking my punch in. But I gotta make sure each take is clean too. Cause by the time you get to the end, you know, the song done for real. Somehow I miss so soon. Microphone gotta mess with me though. Somehow I missed so swimming. I wanna do it in 1, 2. Somehow, microphone, are you gonna mess with me today? Somehow I missed so swimming. I really wanna do it in 1. Put the microphone on the drum. Appreciate the follow, brother. That's love. Check out my page. Check out Crazy Freestyles for real. Appreciate y'all for real. I'm locked. Somehow I missed so swimming at Apex who's so I'm just it be wanting you to do them in a row. That should be. At least I try. Hold on. I gotta redo it a second. Somehow I miss so. Okay. Somehow, dang, the first part messing up. Somehow I missed so swimming. I wanted to do more at the end. That one might be clean though. Hold on. Alright, bet. Oh, yeah, I'm just gone. They push more dance, so I'm just recording. At Apex, who's more dense? At Apex, who's more dense? Shall leave us, so you let me not to Arizona. Pisces shot. I like that melody. Okay. Shall leave her, so you let me not to Arizona leader. Pisces the chunk. I'm gonna do it. Let me hear this. Okay, I gotta redo the second line. First one was clean here. Hold on, let me see if this is clean. That's tough. Alright, bet. Shout out to the person here for sure. Shout out to the people watching on YouTube. I'm making sure I upload this one because the last one, my phone died. I lost footage. You know, it was tough. But then we had crazy freestyles though, so that just reminded me everything happened for a reason. So shout out y'all. Alright, let me lock back in. Everything happened. Love y'all for sure. So you love so you okay, I'm not tweaking, I'm not okay. So you love me now. So you love me now, Sativa. Pisces, they trying to keep up. Burning without warning. Swarming. That's all of it was clean to the last one. Hold on, that melody vibrato. Just wait, not the first one. Okay. Bro, this sounds so good, bro. Hold on. Damn, I have to. Okay. That's cool. We have to do the last two. See what happens when you show up. You never know what could be made. Swarm. That swarm. It'd be wanting you to do them in a row. Swarm. My voice. Okay. One at a time. Dot swarm. Dot swarm. I can. No. Swarming. Dot swarming. Okay. Now we gotta hop in the intro. Beat switch right here, because really I'm just, you know, gonna put the hook on some catchy shit for real. Where is this? Bro, is that... Am I bugging you? Alright, bet. Why is it tweaking with me right now? Now the screen don't want to drag. Alright, let's see. Damn. Hold on, bro. I gotta save and see if I can come back, bro. Why is it trolling me? What y'all on though for the 2 people in here? Yeah, just chilling. Bored. Let's see if my shit fixed. Shout out Proud Sky too. Bro, crazy. Good work. I need, bro, some AC. This the fucking scientist here. Fire. What? Damn, that shit is loud as fuck. Appreciate you, bro. Sounds. It sounds. That sounds good. Okay, it says ×2. Does it mean the whole thing? How long is this beat? 222. That's a sign. Hold on. I think I repeat these last 4. Make sure I split this on the bar, bro, so I can just copy this easy, bro. Okay. Wait. I'm trying to see if that's too late or early. I gotta tap into the listener's perspective. What's this sound? Okay. Now, the first four. What? Cut there. Alright. There's actually, we gotta redo the first line before I put it at the end again. Test. Where's my microphone? Where's... Thank you. Alright. You left, there was no... We probably should do an intro too. Damn, bro. What I did before was tough, but I'll be in a moment, so I should just... Okay. No warning. Okay. No warning. One at a time we can punch in. Easy, just build off of. Hold on. Hold on. Alright. They see you live. I could do it on the live, no warning. I could do it on the live, no warning. No warning. No, there was no. Oh, okay. There was no. There was no. Let's see. Okay, let me see. I just click on the song. Let me hear. Okay. There was no. There was no. There was no warning. There was no warning. Wait. There was no warning. Okay. There was no warning. There was. Ooh, that low-key sounds wrong. Look up at the sky. There was no warning. Transits. No, bro. No metronome. Okay. I'm finna get hit with an ad. No, that's tough. I'm lucky. Yo, yo. You left. There was no. Okay. You. You left. There was. It's the last line. You left there. Hold on, let me clear it real quick. So I'm not self-conscious of this messing up. You left. There was no. Why you cutting me out, microphone? You left. There was no. You left. There was no one. You left. There was no. You left. Oh, Charlie. Nah, this microphone gonna stop boxing with me though. When you get to the end of the song, that shit be cutting out. We good though. Still gonna work together. You left. There was no. You left. You left. There was no warning. Damn. We got one more line. I gotta switch back to the mic too. Come on, bro. One more line, bro. You left. Saving me. Shout out to the new characters unlocking aligned. Love y'all. Okay, whoops. You left, there was no. You left, there was no warning. No. You left, there was no warning. Hey, that was clean. Alright. What? I need to hear from the beginning. You left. Oh, okay. No. You left, there was no. You. You left. You left, there was no. You left, there was no. You left, there was no time. You left, there was no warning. Alright, come on, bro. Something on land. You left. Bro, you punch in. Glitch the system. There was no warning. There was no warning. Hey. There was no. Okay. There was no. Nah, bro, I need like some more. Test. There was no. Okay. There was no. There was no warning. Bro. There was no warning. The reason it matters so much is it sets the tone. There was no. There was no warning. There was no. Maybe I have to do it in one. You left, there's no warning. Well, that was close. You left, there was no warning. Why you cutting me off? You left, there was no. Trust, you got it, bro. You left, there was no warning. Good night. sure it doesn't overlap here. Hold on. Hold on, I need to hear from the beginning real quick. Hold on. Pesos. So I'm just recording. Should I leave them? Save them? Hot as fuck. Okay. I don't think I need this here. Here. I can just let this be a vibe at the end. Come on out with the chat, bro. It needs some fade, but I'm finna. That's it for sure. I'm finna upload this footage. 703 likes. What time is it? 26 on bro. July 2nd. 4217. Pride by Sky.